huge tree root decided to grow in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Trucks. Today we've got some dirt work to do, all sort of getting ready to put in the new foundation for the extension that'll go from here basically to that corner. It's roughly 14 feet depending on where you measure. Everything's a little different and it's all totally out of square, but that's fine. We're gonna see how close we can get today to being ready for footers. But since we've been here last, everything is overgrown. We've made a miniature mount trash that we've got to take care of. Like, what has happened around here, gang? Let's grab the machine, do a quick scrape and pass, clear as much of this stuff out as we can, make it look like dirt again, and go from there. So behind me, all of this dirt has already been moved, which is no small feat for a guy like me. So that's right, ladies and gentlemen, today is all about our trusty machines, our Match Pro mini skid steer and our Vixec mini excavator. These things have already paid for themselves, in my opinion, from all the work we've done with them on the property here, but there's more to do. So we're gonna drive these things around, see if we can make a dent. Look how overgrown this is. I feel like phase one is getting a path down this way so that we get some drainage going on. We started that, but I made a low spot here that's still pretty muddy. So I need to get all this stuff out. Oof. All right. Yeah, get out of there. Yeah. Got a feeling we're gonna need to affix this thing to this here contraption some kind of way, because boy howdy, it's already super hot. We're gonna spend a whole day in the sun, and not just about comfort. You got to be careful, gang. Working alone, heat stroke's real. We don't want any of that business. So we're gonna pretend we're at the beach with this umbrella. Here we go. It's gonna be great. Sure, that might even work. One day, I remember, I'm gonna get one of those El Cheapy door hanger cup holders too. Guy'd like to have a bottle of water with him at all times. Same reasons. All right, let's see if she'll fire up. This thing's been very good to me. Here we go. Oh man, a lot of this is my own fault. I laid down some of the paneling that was coming apart off that back wall so that I could stand in the mud pit that I created. And man, I'll tell you what, that stuff, especially with this thing, it's like trying to pick up spaghetti with a spoon. It's just not happening. So it's all by hand, and it's weird because whatever they treat this stuff with, this is as rotten as it gets. It falls apart into its laminated pieces, and then that's it. But I stabbed myself with it too, because I can only find one glove, and then I lost it. So bought 3 pairs the other day. That hurts because it's treated with something, you can tell. Whew. All right, also found a little snake over there in the mix. We moved him to safer harbor. I'm kind of I'm still the little kid I always was. I see what I'm like, ooh, neat. I don't want to hurt anything. It doesn't need to be hurt. Plenty of room. So it's now living in there somewhere, hopefully. Living a happy snake life. So we need sort of a plan here. And to get you up to speed if you're brand new, thanks for watching. And there's a bunch of stuff to get us here. We're gonna come off of this corner. Now this corner is not square to this wall. It's a whole big thing. We'll get into that later. But what I think we need to do here is bring this outside edge down as far as we need first, and then we're gonna work everything from this corner back down. It's gonna be mostly level, but if I have any slight grade, I want it running toward the outside of the house so that everything can run down the hill. Just a little refresher, this house is just a box of extensions. The far corner is the original piece. This was extended, this was extended, that was an extension, that's an extension on that. Everything is an extension. Some of them are square-ish, some of them are way out. That's not even close to 90. By the time we get out to this corner, we're over 6 inches out of where we should be. It should be this way, like 6 to 8 inches. We're putting a kitchen here, master bedroom here, master bath right here. Turn all this concrete block into a retaining wall. We got a lot to do. A lot to do. A lot to do. All right, succeeded in getting rid of most of the berm that was holding water in here. Still, we gotta grade this down, but I wanted to see where the footer was. And by footer, it looks like a brick. I'm gonna let ignorance be bliss here. I'm not sure what's going on, but that's definitely a piece of brick at the corner. So, great. If you watch this channel for more than 38 seconds, you know I'm not a professional at any of these things, but we're gonna do it anyway because, well, that's what the channel's all about. Doing it yourself, learning as you go, making mistakes as needed to learn stuff. That's what experience is, gang. It's the culmination of knowledge gained mostly from mistakes. Every once in a while you hit a lick, but around here they're few and far between. But that's fine. That's fine. That's part of the deal. So we've been at an hour at least on this portion of it, and that umbrella is really saving my butt. It's going to make this day much more pleasant, and also, you know, let me work at it a lot longer. I don't quit, but that's often dumb, you know, so the fatigue really sets in. Found some other neat stuff too. An old Coca-Cola bottle we'll clean up. We'll drop that in the drink here. Bam. Let's let that rinse off. Found an old Pepsi bottle. We'll let that go too. Found this terrifying thing. Don't know what that is. It was clearly glass, but it looks like it might have been glass on both sides. I don't know, drop that in the drink too. See what comes of all this stuff. None of it's valuable, but it is always interesting. Like the history in these houses and some of the old cars on the channel and stuff like that. The things you find in them tell interesting stories of the people that had them before you, you know? It fascinates the old imagination. You got different kind of days on a project like this, gang. I mean, there are days where it's just awful and you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed about the money you're putting in, the time, the little bit progress that's happening or no progress or steps backwards sometimes. Today's a pretty good day. Today, you know, making some progress. I don't feel stressed out about it. Also, the scale can intimidate you depending on how you feel about it. Like right now I'm looking at it and like, all I need to do is build a 14-foot by 40-foot box. It's not that big a deal. And then other days you're like, oh my God, I have to build this, you know, ridiculous thing and it's so many parts and pieces. And so it's important to, you know, on the days that you're really struggling, don't let yourself go too far down the rabbit hole. If you just got to step away, you know, go grab some tacos or something. It's going to be okay. This is pushing my skill set. This is pushing my limits. It's pushing beyond the boundaries of where I've been before and what I'm capable of. So that's kind of exciting. And when you're riding that line between what you are confident that you can accomplish versus what you think you maybe can accomplish. Like, there's a gray area. That's when it waffles back and forth between like, okay, like, wow, look at this, we can do this, to, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I'm completely overwhelmed. Like, it doesn't feel good, but it's an indicator that you are taking a chance. You're taking a risk on something for whatever reason drove you to do it, you know, that you thought you could or you wanted to or whatever it was. So when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out, remember, like, you're pushing your own boundaries, and you know, that's a good thing to do. I mean, if you fail, who cares? You know, whatever. You'll make it better next time. All right, gang. Something else weird is going on here. I'm not really sure what this is. I guess it has something to do with an old septic system. Don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna keep digging, and hopefully we don't fall in a great big hole. We have moved a whole lot of dirt, but we've got a lot more to go. Guess we're into where this huge tree root decided to grow in. It's wild, absolutely wild. Yeah, that tree was right there. Man. Still got some sun left. We're gonna barrel down this way. Should be plenty of room to work. We sort of have to get to this level, so it's over a foot of dirt down this path. Here goes nothing. All right, time to shine, little buddy. Ready? Awesome. Oh, team. After a near meltdown, we dug some more dirt, and as I'm driving these machines around, I'm remembering, I was thinking all the time, not trying to change directions, but like contemplating steps or if, what, then, and how to, and whatever. Being that this is a solo mission, breaking this off into bite-sized chunks, A, so that I can handle it, and B, so that I can finance it and afford it. There's an inefficiency to breaking things down into smaller chunks, but also a manageability in it. So at this point, I think my best bet is to build out this one room. It's a little under 18 by 15. And then from there, we can think about building this room, which will be something like 20 by 14 or so. And when that room is done, we'll just have to see about rebuilding this room, because it's weird anomaly. It's on a slab. It's on a slab on roots. It's a bunch of stuff that I don't really have a great solution for, but but we'll figure it out when we get to it. Yeah, the right thing to do would be to just build all of this at once, but as a one-man operation, it doesn't really make a ton of sense either. It makes a ton of construction sense. It just doesn't make a ton of sense for the process that I'm going through. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. There will be learning curves and lessons along the way. So anything that happens in this section of foundation, by the time I get to the subfloor, I can at least learn that and have not poured an extra 20 feet of foundation. So I'm feeling more confident in my lack of confidence, if that makes sense to you guys out there. Suddenly, very magically, we're about ready to figure out footers for this section of foundation. Is suddenly rather exciting. We're gonna head out on a truck venture, go see if we can find ourselves a cement mixer. Day to lift heavy stuff though. All right, here we go. The price is right. It was already assembled. They won't let you return it though, because it's a floor model. It's like, all right, whatever, dude. Also, no other options. Nobody else has them in stock, and they're back ordered. So, took advantage of the sale. We need it like right now. So, yeah, here goes nothing. Here we are at the ranch. It's gonna be a big day. We are gonna start building forms for our foundation. For this extension right here, we are replacing what used to be here. You can see where it used to be. We're actually gonna punch it out so that this wall is a straight-ish line. I say straight-ish because this extension is not square to that extension. This is one of those things that I understand in theory, but have no practical experience in. So we're gonna learn some things today. If I can do it, you can do it. So let's see if I can do it. All right, I got my Pythagoras all stretched out and we are ready to go. Per usual, after about an hour of work, I realized I was getting ahead of myself. All I really need is a parallel line to that set of block. So this string line is now roughly 14 feet from both ends of this. So we'll be working down from the top. This is the anatomy of what we're building. We'll have our footer, 2 blocks, that will equal 16 inches with mortar, 1.5 inch sill plate, 2x8 band joist and floor joists, 3/4 subfloor. So if you add all this stuff up with modern lumber, you're talking 16 plus 1.5 inch plus 7.25 plus 3/4, 25.5 inches. Keep gravitating back to the shade, man. So that's 25.5 inches from the top of the subfloor to the top of the footer. It's critical that we understand what wood and material we are working with, because we could theoretically just line up our blocks, but this was built a long time ago and they are using a 2x8, but it's not on top of a sill plate, and their 2x8 is a different dimension than our 2x8, because over time 2x8s went from being 2 inches by 8 inches to being 1.5 inch by 7.25, and there are variations in between, and in this house there are at least 2. I think that's 7 3/4. So our only base point is our subfloor from the existing house, and we need to match our subfloor to that, so we don't have any weird step ups or step downs. You dig? Cool. All right, gang, you know it, you love him, Mr. Beep Beep, our Beaver Laser Transit. This thing's awesome. It'll self-level within 5 degrees. Thing about using a laser transit of any kind, you need to make sure that your line of sight from that laser hits all the points that you want to measure. So I want to be able to hit that subfloor, this subfloor in here, eyeballs, yep. And we're going to work down from those measurements to get our final footing height. Because you're measuring from wherever that laser is in outer space land down, anytime you move that laser, you're starting over, right? Because all that's doing is giving you a reference point at a plane 360 degrees. We're going to measure from the laser down to the subfloor. Then we're going to add another 25 inches, 25 and a half inches down, and that's going to be the top of our footer. And then we're going to add another 7 1/4 down from that, because we're going to use 2x8 for our forms, which is truly 7 1/4. Old Mr. Beep Beep's whirling away behind me. All right, so Mr. Beep Beep's hollering away. Turn that off for a second. You can actually see the laser hitting at 1 foot 11 1/2. All that means is the laser is 1 foot 11 1/2 from this point, which is going to be the top of our subfloor in here. This is the measurement I want to start from, because this wall is going to go away and this is going to be a continuous floor all the way out. We are going to put our finished floor on top of this oak. I know some of you guys are going to lose your minds about it. It does make me kind of sad, but it's too bad in too many places, and I got to cut through it by the front door. Already had to cut through it here. I just can't put it back together. It's a Humpty Dumpty situation. So from our laser line and our finished floor, we're going to go 25 and a half inches. That's 2 blocks, sill plate, 2x8 band joist. And then from that, we're going to drop down another 7 1/4, and that should be the height of the footer. So now, from the laser line, we need to come down 4 foot 8 1/4 inches, and that is the bottom of our foundation. Gee whiz, it's hot. Can't even see. So just mark my doohickey with a Sharpie, because I'm going to have to move it eventually. But let's just work our way from the far side of the foundation back. Let's see. All right, so we're like 2 or 3 inches above where we need to be here. So this is good. All right, we're okay there. So the quick beeping is go up. The slow beeping is go down. So we're good there. Which means by the time we get here, we're gonna have to dig down some more. Let's see how far. It does have a screen on the back so you can see it. You can also flip this doohickey around. Just has the receiver on the front. All right, so this is where we are right here. We need to come down about 6 1/4 inches. Man, when you get a couple feet down into clay, it's serious business. It's taking this machine for a ride a little bit. Trying to get the teeth in and get a place that it'll sort of break free of itself is a challenge. But I'm thrilled to have these machines, because otherwise it'd be a pickaxe, a shovel, a wheelbarrow, and we'd be at it multiple days. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. There is no dirt where dirt used to be. There's more evidence that this is a septic tank. There's this gravel run that was here, sort of ish, and some concrete pipe maybe. Who knows? Strange things under this house. Don't know why it would be where it is though. That's the baffling part. Not that there is one, but where it is. I'm trying to figure out what time it is. 2 o'clock, okay. It was about an hour and a half of moving dirt around. We moved a significant amount of dirt, probably 16 inches, 10 feet. We'd have been here for a week if we were doing this by hand, especially as hard as that clay was. Guess it's time to take Mr. Beep Beep, make sure we're good. So basically at this point, I'm just looking for a loose measurement. I just want to make sure, where are you? I want to make sure it's telling me I need to go up everywhere. good. I would rather space the forms up than dig down once I'm trying to deal with them. I need the top of the form to be perfectly level. I don't need the bottom of the form to be perfectly level. So I need just to make sure that I've got enough room that my foundation isn't too high, because my foundation's too high, my floor is too high. You know what I'm saying? It all just goes up. Every day on this project, I end up like going back and forth. It's an emotional roller coaster where you're like, how am I gonna tie this into this? And how's this piece gonna fit? And where should I be starting to do this other thing? And like, when you step back and you look at it, like that's a 4x8 sheet of plywood. It's gonna take less than 3 of those to build this room. That's all we're really talking about, gang. We're talking about a box this big. Hey, looks like we're doing something. Don't really know what I'm doing, but we're doing something. You can see it's resting on a couple high spots. I threw in a 4-inch PVC pipe down there because I think a French drain down at that end is not a bad idea, especially while we're under construction, because that side's going to be open. So we're going to get water in here, and I want to get water back out. But fortunately for me, Mr. Beep Beep says we're pretty darn close right here. Yep. But once we get out here, that's good. That's saying down. It's the slow beep. We can see we're between a ½ inch. All right, gang, it's somewhat exciting. I'm gonna make one more pass with the mini skid steer. That ought to get us down, and then I think it's time to run to the store. I was gonna try to stake these things in with some wooden stakes, but as difficult as this soil has been to dig through, I think I'm going to need spikes. So this was at least a 2-day process to begin with. So I think it'll be time to go to the store, grab some stakes. I wish they were the eaten kind, but they're not. Rebar, concrete. I don't know if I can do it all in one trip or not. Whatever else we need, who knows? Man, I got one high spot right here and everything just keeps sliding over it. It is compacted, so we're gonna grab the pickaxe and just try to take this edge off. This is okay, that's okay, this is not okay. Again, we can be a little too low, we just can't be too high, because that'll push our foundation up, which will push our floors up. But finding more of this burned wood, I kind of forgot that I'd found some of this before. It was a long time ago, and it runs this line. So not only does it run this line, but the plumbing line is clearly right here. We're breaking up this concrete pipe. So there was definitely concrete pipe in gravel headed right there, which I believe is the septic tank. Maybe it was part of a structure that burned down. That is my best guess, and who knows how old that would have been, you know? Who knows? I don't know. You know, I don't know. It's 92 degrees in the shade today, gang. But look at this, we're making progress. For those of you at home wondering, it would be more efficient if I had the material delivered, and it would be more efficient than that if I got a short load concrete truck, which is available in my area. They'll bring a small truck and a pump and all that stuff. I'm doing this because, as you can see by my process, I'm learning as I go. So it's like, okay, I was squaring things up and then I didn't need to do that. And then I was like, all right, I got to run this out. And then I realized, well, I should take this down a little further, build my forms, blah, blah, blah. So if I was scheduling concrete, it'd be in a world of hurt. Or if I got a concrete bag delivery and it, you know, had to sit out in the weather or whatever. So there's an inefficiency to my process, but hopefully it's just giving me the time and the grace to not make a big expensive mistake. That's my hope and plan. That's my hope. So we'll see. Oh yeah. Dang it. Well, guess we'll stop at the dump, and we'll go to the home improvement store. I was gonna dump that out, but what's the point? I just gotta reload it. So it's already there. Let's fill her up, get on down the road. It's the worst it's been here in a long time. Everybody's overheating, half the cars are broken down. It's just a pain. It's fine, it's fine. No sense in getting frustrated. It is what it is. Man, we just started striking out toward the end there. Oh, the dump took an hour. I'm gonna try to stop for gas to get ready for tomorrow. Pump wouldn't work. Computer's glitching out. Why a gas pump needs a touchscreen is something I'll never fully understand. We had fun today. We got some progress done, and we're gonna give it hell tomorrow. So, it's done. All right, 1,200 pounds of concrete and some better boards later and some 20-foot rebar. This is round one. We need twice as much concrete, but I figured I'm probably gonna forget something, so we may as well save the truck. Here we go.